What epic tales are waiting to be told in our lives? Grael's life seems to be opening a new chapter. Annie took Grael on all sorts of wild adventures, like sneaking off to street food stalls and daring subway rides. That day, Grael truly experienced the joys of being a regular kid, free from the burdens of upper-class glam and drama. She discovered life's little pleasures and understood the daily hustle of everyday people. It was a whole new adventure for her. They explored the Natural History Museum together, where the dinosaur exhibit sparked Grael's curiosity like a volcano. Annie felt an unexplainable joy watching Grael's excitement. This, she realized, was the essence of life. That night, Annie thought she could relax, but met Mrs. Laura with shopping and unexpected workout. Mrs. Laura directly signed Annie up for a babysitter support group, leaving Annie to wonder if this was the most ridiculous meeting ever. Annie reminded Mrs. Laura of her leave, but at work, promises are as worthless as bubblegum. So Annie reluctantly attended this communication meeting, where babysitters were more like spectators in a comedy show. The host shocked everyone by asking them to air their babysitters' faults like giving a comedy roast. While the takes varied, the result was consistent. None of the babysitters were up to snuff. The babysitters looked like kids caught misbehaving, heads down, and no words to say. What a comical sight. When it was Anna's turn to speak, she timidly asked for a day off, shocking Mrs. Laura like she had asked for a unicorn. Mrs. Laura lost all her dignity, striding out with a face that looked like an unhappy frog. Her attitude towards Annie turned frigid, leaving Annie to vent over drinks at her bedside. What a tragic comedy. But it seems Cupid had some plans for Annie and Steve, as friends noticed a spark in the air. When Steve's friends learned about Anna's job, they unreservedly started making jokes, which left Annie feeling utterly insulted. It was truly beyond belief. But she refused to back down, bravely defending her dignity. Talk about a warrior queen. Back home, Annie received a message from Steve, who wanted to apologize in person. Adorable. She knew he had feelings for her, but the gap between them left her feeling bewildered. The next day, Annie got a call from her mom, who was coming to check on her job and talk about pressure. To disguise everything, she quickly got a friend to pretend they were roommates, like something out of a comedy film. The mom didn't notice anything off and was thrilled Annie found a high-paying job. How dramatic. Just then, Mrs. Laura called, ordering her to prep for Grael's birthday party. She even informed Annie about some roses and an apology note someone sent to talk about icing on the cake. However, the party, which was supposed to be lively, turned dull due to her parents bickering unimaginable. Mr. Paul, feeling extremely frustrated since Grael failed to get admitted to the international school, vented his anger on Mrs. Laura. It was just like performing in a tragic drama. Annie couldn't bear to watch, so she stepped out to clear her mind. Who would have thought? While she was hiding, she bumped into Steve, who came to apologize, clearly fate at work. She recognized Grael's deep reliance on her, which made her feel warm inside. She craved to be there for Grael, yet sensed their separation was inevitable. What a tangled web of emotions. She wished to shield Grael from more indifference, and had a true case of procrastination at heart. That night, the consultant fired off a laundry list of questions about Grael's parents, none of which helped her growth. As if that wasn't enough, the conversation dragged on until midnight, nearly costing Annie her date with Steve. But Steve didn't blame Annie. They sat on library steps, chatting from love to philosophy. Learning meets heartthrob. Annie mentioned her discontent with her job, and Steve urged her to quit. Was that a hint or what? Steve got Anna's situation since he lost his mom at 4 and had her dad absent for ages. Listening to his story heightened Anna's sympathy. Their mutual attraction felt like a magical chemistry. Though Annie didn't respond at once, back home, her emotions erupted like a flood. It was exhilarating. That night, their feelings blended completely, passionate and utterly wild. To date openly, Annie planned to quit her babysitting job, but just as she was about to speak, Mrs. Laura stumbled into chaos. It was supposed to be her wedding anniversary with Paul, but he missed it due to a delayed flight. So awkward. Seeing her marriage crack, Mrs. Laura stubbornly refused to leave the icy home, leaving everyone helpless. Shortly after she left, Grael spiked a high fever, leaving Annie frantic like an ant on a hot stove. She called Mrs. Laura over and over, but got no response. Now it was deep into the night. She hoped her nurse mom could help, but feared losing her babysitting job. She was furious. Ultimately, for Grael's safety, she trembled while dialing her mom's number, such a struggle for the heart. Her mom rushed over upon receiving the call, and while caring for Grael, Annie felt a mix of gratitude and guilt. Just as anticipated, her mother felt disappointed about her deception, and right in the midst of their argument, Mrs. Laura suddenly returned home. What a truly stunning twist.